My name is Claire Trepanier. I'm an organic master gardener, horticulturalist, and welcome to my garden. We're going to be talking today about growing your vegetables inside the box. Inside the box means really a raised bed. And so what I want to talk to you first about doing this, and I'm glad that you joined me because obviously you're interested in growing vegetables, and this I think is the easiest way to do it. So last year, this is my second year, so last year I had an idea that I wanted to grow vegetables, especially with the COVID situation happening, and I've noticed a lot of people in Bayfield have been doing the same thing. So the first steps are your site. What you want to think about is sun, because a lot of the vegetables require at least 6 hours of sun a day. So what I've done, this is facing south. So what I'm going to do is plant my sunny vegetables, such as tomatoes, cucumbers, eggplant, tons of vegetables that are basically fruiting vegetables. I will be planting them here because once this tree is in leaf, then you're going to have shade here, which is perfect because some of the vegetables that I'm growing, like the green ones, like kale, Swiss chard, spinach, they don't like a lot of sun. They still like some. They like 4 to 6 hours a day, but not as much sun as you would in this garden. So as I said, you want to think about when you're siting your beds, you want to think about the sun. You want to think about a water source. Make sure that you have a water source that is really close by. Otherwise, you're going to be coming out here, you're making lots of trips from inside your house or on the other side of the house. So lots of water, you want some sun, you want stuff that, provides some shade for different types of vegetables. So when I started this garden, it was all grass. And I wanted to make it easier on myself. And so what I did is basically took some landscape cloth, which is a black material cloth. I laid it on the ground and then put some underneath it. To keep it down, I put pegs inside so that it'd keep it down. And then after that, I just bought some bricks, edged it, very easy. And then mulched it. And I wanted to mulch it because, well, first of all, you can leave it black if you want. That's up to you. I would think that the vegetables would grow, a lot faster if you had the black material around it because it attracts the sun. But maybe in the heat of summer, that's not a good idea. Because honestly, in the heat of summer and when there was a drought, my tomatoes were feeling kind of by the end of the day. So anyways, that's why I put the mulch down. The other reason why I put the mulch down is some of my vegetables are trailing vegetables like butternut squash or zucchini. And so it was great. I was able to get it to trail all around the mulch on the outside of the box, so it wasn't taking space inside the box. So that's the easy part. Next is also, so I put the black landscape cloth down on the outsides of the box, but on the inside, I didn't want to do that. I did it to just on the outside here to protect the wood, but I didn't do it at the bottom. And so what I did was put newspaper down on the bottom. And as you can see, there's no newspaper here anymore. So it basically disintegrated over the winter and over the summer, and there's no grass. So this is a no-dig method, which is very, very easy to do. Just have to think about your site, get the sun, get the water, lay your boxes down, and then put some newspapers at the bottom of this. I usually wet the newspapers so they're not flying all over the place. And then you add the soil. So the soil is very important for any garden, and especially for in boxes. You don't want to just put a bunch of triple mix in it, because what's going to happen is that the soil will get compacted. There's nowhere for it to go, and it'll become very almost like clay. It'll compress. So what I do is I use, as I've shown, I have samples here. It's a 1/3, 1/3, 1/3 mix. So the peat moss I use to retain the water. The sheep manure is for nutrients, and the triple mix is also to make the soil fluffy. You don't want to put any garden soil in it because it'll, again, as I said, compact. So the next thing I'm going to talk about is your plants. And this is the fun part. You have to have fun and enjoy what you're doing, because that's the whole reasoning behind gardening. You want to enjoy the experience. You want to get out in the fresh air. So don't get too stressed out about the plants. Learn from your experience. Last year, it was my first year really doing a serious vegetable garden, and I wanted to grow Brussels sprouts. I know that's not everybody's favorite, but my husband and I love them. And so I grew them, and then all of a sudden I started seeing this, you know, the pretty white butterflies that kind of flit all over your garden. Well, those pretty white butterflies really like to lay their eggs inside the Brussels sprouts. And so the following day, the white butterflies babies were eating my Brussels sprouts plant. So what did I learn from that? I have to put a little canopy over it to keep the white butterfly from laying eggs. So anyways, I wanted to talk to you about growing your plants. There's different sources. You can buy your seeds and grow them inside. Some can be grown inside. I've got this really fun one, which I think is going to be a lot of fun, called banana legs. And it's a yellow tomato, and it's supposed to be really very tasty. Now the other one that I bought, and I couldn't resist because I love country music, is the Boxcar Willie tomato. And apparently it says, yes, it's supposed to be really sweet, prolific, and produce big, huge tomatoes, which I love on a piece of toast. Seed packages are one source of seeds. But another source is the food in your fridge. So I bought these tomatoes, and they were at a store over the winter that I absolutely loved. So what I did is I saved the seeds, and they were almost like a pea size type of tomato. So anyways, I saved the seeds, and now I'm growing them. I believe it's called a red currant tomato, but I'm not 100% sure, and I don't really care. I've done it before, and honestly, the crop that we have is so good from it. There was one that I saved years ago. My mother gave them to her friends at their park, and everybody loved them, but I didn't know the name of them, so they were called Claire's tomatoes after that. And the other one, let me see, you can buy seedlings from a garden center, and that's another way to do it. Now, what I want to stress to you is a pack of seeds, and there's probably, I don't know, 100 sometimes in them, only costs about $3. So if it doesn't work out, no stress. Just learn from your experience, as I did with the Brussels sprouts. And I guess that's it. Just go out, have fun, enjoy your garden.
Watching a new love grow, watching an old